Okay, so this is a good example of an area where some of the work that we're proposing could be carried out. You have some young white pines that are definitely running out of sunlight, and they're going to run out of room in the next few years. So in order for them to continue growing, they're going to need some columns of space and some sunlight. One way to do that is to pluck out some of these poor quality hardwoods. I say that in terms of more from a form point of view. You know, some people might take offense at the idea that I'm calling them poor form, or poor quality, but it's a form is one reason, and there's a pair of oaks along with a third oak that's long dead that could come out of the crown, or with their removal from the canopy will create a small hole in which some sunlight can come through. So a couple of those could go as firewood. You have these two oaks here that are probably only 13, 14 inches in diameter that really are just at the start of really starting to grow into big, nice trees. So it might make sense to pluck out this black oak. Again, it has pretty poor form. It has a hole here where a branch snapped off a long time ago. So water's flowing in. It's going to lead to some rot. If you've ever noticed driving around after a good windstorm or snowstorm, if you ever look at where the branches broke off of that tree, 9 times out of 10, you're going to see rot or evidence of ants. It's just a weakness. In that case, Mother Nature's doing it. Only here, we can work with Mother Nature, pluck something out like that before it loses its value in order to achieve sort of that long-range goal for out there. All right, so this is another good example of an area that really could use a little light touch in terms of removing some trees in here. Right now, it has a nice quiet feeling to it, but where the future for this property has a really long horizon, you have to think beyond next week. And with the exception of this little pocket of little white pines that seeded in when there was the last time there was a disturbance, whether they were doing perk tests or moving soil around or what have you, the only reason those seedlings are there is because of the sunlight created by that disturbance. If you look through the rest of the woods, there's very few little ones, which is really the next generation of trees that you want to have in place out here. So if you can take advantage of a cone crop, which we've determined is in place now for this coming summer of 2017, there'll be a lot of white pine seed dropping. If we can have some kind of light disturbance in here where a few trees are plucked out for a thinning basis, on a thinning basis, in this case either for firewood or as logs to make lumber out of, pine lumber, you'll have some openings in the canopy. You'll have areas, disturbed soil, where the seed's going to have a chance to drop, and then you'll have a brand new catch in the spring of, let's say, 2018 with your next generation of trees for the Wenakeening woods. And it's a disturbance for the people who walk through here every day, but for the sake of the woods themselves, it's exactly what these woods could use to keep it growing for the foreseeable future and beyond.